by the Jubilee Party aspirants this morning, just coming 2 days after that meeting by what was fronted as an alliance by the opposition members. Yeah. What can we expect to come out of that today?
Yes, I think today Kenyans should expect to see calculated moves to counter the euphoria that's building up under NASA.
Right.
And I think what the Jubilee will be trying to do is to rally its members on its side and stop any would-be hemorrhage because of the likely fallout in the nominations. Because there are fears, for example, in Nairobi County gubernatorial election, for example, those running to get the Jubilee ticket are very many. There are 6 major stalwarts of the party.
Right.
So what is going to happen today is that the president and the deputy president and the party stalwarts will be trying to drive the message home that there's a lot in Jubilee that you can be offered in case you don't get the nomination to run for whatever seat you are running for.
Right.
And then thirdly, there's a feeling that the NASA meeting in the Bomas of Kenya raised excitement in the NASA quarter. So the issue is to counter that excitement by having a counter meeting.
And assuring their supporters that, we are...
Exactly, assuring their supporters that we are still together, we are still holding on despite this. And this is also coming at the backdrop of what happened during the burial of the late Makto,
right,
where there was a lot of exchanges and so on. So the intention is to calm the house,
right,
is to calm the boat and tell everybody, look, we are on board, everybody's on board, but let's talk strategy in terms of how do we move away from here. Because the understanding is that the nominations will be fair, will be free and fair, and that's why they're launching the card. The card is to ensure that non-members do not decide the elections in the Jubilee House.
And just speaking about the card, Jubilee Party is the only party that has launched such a digital way of registering its members.
Yes.
Does this work to their favor in terms of just showing how perhaps tech savvy?
It does work to their favor, but it also creates a certain dimensions, because at one point we were saying that we can't conduct elections digitally or electronically. And then on the other hand, we are launching cards that are very digitally controlled, because those have to be input in some machines to be read and so on.
So then they have to ensure that the electronic...
Yes, so there will be a counter argument to that, that if you can use electronic cards for voting, then why can't you do the same for conducting national elections?
Right.
The card will have an advantage, because those membership cards that were manual, anybody could fill in the card on the same day of election. They complete the card and they go on the line and they vote. But the digital card has advantage of at least confirmation in the headquarters, that only those legitimate members whose names appear in the register of the party's headquarters will be allowed to vote. So there's a way that is a countermeasure to any fraudulent engagements in securing nominations for some individuals, like we saw in the past. Because in the past, like in the TNA nominations, we know, for example, Dr. Njoroge, the MP for Gatanga, lost in the TNA nominations, and then he went to an ACT ticket on which he ran and went to Parliament. So they want to avoid situations where popular candidates are left out through unfair means of a nomination.
Right. And of course, what you also expect to see today during that strategy meeting is that call for, voter registration in their strongholds.
Right.
And we saw that this is also a move that, the opposition also called out for on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Of course, a very important step right now.
Yes, it's very important, because 6 million voters need to be actually...
I think the IBC yesterday said the 9.1 million,
9.1 million. So that's
people have IDs but have not registered as voters.
So that's a very big number. To have 9 million potential voters, the call is that rally them to register. And many of them, we are told, they are youth. About 7 million of those non-registered are youth. So the rallying call is that if they can all register, they have the chance of actually creating the balance. They are